Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. Today's video is so exciting because it is a new indie brand. So they're new in general. So they are new, and they're also new to my channel since this will be the first time of me trying them. And they are called Musee Beauty. And then this is their Impressionism palette. So it came in this sleeve like this. So super cute. And then boom, this is the palette. So again, super cute design. Then go ahead and open the palette. So one thing that I love about palettes is when they have mirrors. So this is a decent sized palette too. So this is the outside, and then boom, mirror, and then the inside of the palette. And this palette is so pretty, super colorful. I've been thinking all day of what colors I'm gonna use, and right now I can tell you that I'm looking at like these right in here. No idea what I'm actually gonna do, but look at how beautiful this is. Like, this is absolutely stunning. And the one thing, so I have the facts on here pulled up. So there are 16 shadows in here. It retails for $42, and there's 8 shimmers and then 8 mattes, which is really cool because I like when there's a good balance, because sometimes some palettes are just not enough mattes, not enough darker mattes, not enough, okay, maybe there's like 1 or 2 shimmers or whatever it is. So it's really nice when things are more like split up like that. So, you know, I feel like it's pretty easy to work with when things are kind of sectioned that way. So anyways, I think this is so cute. Like, look at how cute this palette is. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. Musee is a new brand. They just came out. I don't know how long they've had. I feel like maybe they've had their Instagram account for a couple months, but this palette specifically came out, I want to say, at the end of May. I did buy it as soon as it came out, basically. I saw it on a couple different like indie beauty Instagrams. I follow a couple of them, so I think all of them at some point ended up posting about them. I don't exactly remember the exact one, but I saw it and was like, okay, yes, like I really was interested in the style of this brand, how they're art inspired. Like, I really can appreciate that. So I don't know, it was something about this brand that I saw and I was like, I need to try them. I was super intrigued. So sometimes I'm a little like hesitant when brands come out and they're really small and this is like their new product and everything. Sometimes that makes me a little like hesitant, you know, I just can't explain it, but I decided just to go for it, buy the palette. I will say that I bought the palette when it came out, and I want to say it was like a day or two. It was either that day or like the next day, and I got a shipping notification within like a day or two of purchasing it, which was really cool. Then I was kind of waiting for it for a while and realized that I still hadn't gotten it almost 2 weeks after it said it shipped to me. I think that was about the time. So I looked into it and it kept saying that it was in the same location of where it was shipping out. So it was like it got the label printed, but it never actually made it to me. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with that, but I decided just to message them on Instagram. I figured, you know, let's just try it, see how it goes, and then go from there. I reached out to them. They responded to me really fast, and they were like, okay, let me look into it, and didn't really explain like what happened, but basically we're like, okay, we'll send you another one, and we're also going to send you a shirt. So I do have a shirt. It's somewhere in my closet, so I would totally show you guys. It's really cute, but you know, the closet is a long story. We've only lived here, we'll be here for almost 2 months and like a week and a half, and I still feel like I'm not done like organizing things, you know, especially when it comes to my closet. So it's a little messy in there. They sent me a shirt, and then they sent me the palette, and I got the palette like super fast, like maybe in a couple days. So I do appreciate that, and I just like sharing my experience as far as shipping goes if there are any issues with you guys, especially if they are, or since they are an indie brand. And I know, like I said, sometimes people can be a little hesitant buying from newer brands, and totally fine. I understand that. So I just wanted to share with you guys my experience from buying from them. So I did have a little bit of a hiccup as far as receiving my palette, but once I contacted them, it was super, super smooth, so no complaints there. They handle it like perfectly, like literally perfectly. And I know things are crazy right now as far as shipping goes and still dealing with the virus and all of that, so they literally handled it like 10 out of 10 perfectly. So let's go ahead and get into the swatches. Just going to, I'm not going to read the names, but we'll go just like I always do, starting with the first row with this shade, then we'll go to the second row, third row, and fourth row. One thing that I'm going to point out too right now is I really like that they do have that more neutral row, and we are starting on the second row now. Oh, I did that a little too close. Oh, that one actually swatched out pretty decent. But they have that more neutral, like warm toned row, which I think is kind of nice. It's always nice to have options when you have like colorful palettes, to have also neutral options, because you know, sometimes it's just nice, especially if you're not super like comfortable with colorful looks. It's always nice to have those more neutral options. That way you can do like a neutral look and then kind of add your pops of color and then go from there. But this palette is so beautiful and colorful that I just want to do colorful looks. So this shade Poppies, oh my god, this looks absolutely stunning. I definitely want to use that shade. I'm trying to think of what shimmers I want to use with it. Into the third row now. That's a pretty cool shade. It's kind of got a shift to it. I love shades like that, by the way. It kind of looks like a more brown shade, but then it also has some shimmer in there. It kind of looks kind of pinky, kind of bluey. This shade looks really pretty. You know me, I love my like shimmery blue shades too. Okay, so these are the first 3 rows. So far, swatching out really nicely. And I'm gonna go ahead and just take these off and then go do the last row. So let's start with the last row now. It's a nice pearly highlight shade. Ooh, that one's really nice. Okay, so all of those swatched out pretty good. Actually, as a whole, I feel like this palette swatched out pretty nicely, so I'm super excited to use it. I really not sure what direction I want to go with this. I definitely want to use that poppy shade, so maybe I'll do like a reddy, orangey, pinky look, but I also like using green with red, or like that like tealy color. So I was definitely rambling while I was super close to the camera. Basically, I'm gonna start a look. I have no idea what direction I'm actually gonna go with this, but we're gonna try maybe something with the poppy shade. So I'm not sure exactly what colors I'm gonna use with it, but I really want to try to do something with that shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my look, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is the look so far. I feel like this is a very typical Raeann thing, like just taking all of the colorful things and just like trying to put them in one look. So I actually don't mind it so far. So let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, I needed to use this poppy shade. So that's gonna be the first shade we're gonna use. Then after I'm done with that, I am gonna blend it out with this shade right here. Also, I'm super sad because I wanted to take pictures of this palette and I totally forgot, and so I didn't, and now it's all fingerprinty. My bad. So like I said earlier, we're gonna go ahead and blend it out with that more orangey shade, Dancers. My NYX glitter primer. I got stuck on my ring. Then just dip in with my brush and just place it down wherever I want the shadow to go, kind of to emulate a cut crease. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into about 3 different colors. So I'm gonna start off with this Coast shade. So I'm gonna go into Coast, and then this shade here, which I'm not sure what it's called, and then also this shade here. This Coast shade, I will say, definitely looks a little more on the blue side than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a little more green, but I mean, it still has like that tendency, or not tendency, it still definitely has that like tone to it, but I definitely thought it was going to be a little more green. Like, I thought it would be like more of a seafoamy color. So now I'm going to go into Starry. That green shade. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of refine everything a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep moving. Pretty much caught up now. I am gonna take that Dancer shade and just run that under here. My hair is just all sorts of crazy today. And then I'm also going to take that shade Poppy. Okay, and what I did on the other eye was I actually took a little bit of this Undergrowth shade and just put a tiny bit on the outer portion of my eye. Just a little bit. And for the inner corner, I was gonna say I kind of wish I used the more orangey shade, but I'm actually pretty happy with this inner corner highlight. So it's the shade Water Lily. I just don't feel like it's popping as much on camera as it is in person. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. I think I'm just gonna do some lashes and then kind of make the rest of this look better. And then I'll be back and we'll talk about my feelings on the palette so far. Okay, so this is the finished look. Alright, so I actually kind of really like this look. Like, I love those moments when you're done doing your makeup and you're like, is that me? You know? Anybody else do that? Okay, maybe not, I don't know. But I do feel like whenever I use different like colorful shadows, I always end up looking like a tropical bird a little bit. But I'm not mad. I actually embrace and try to look like a tropical bird like all the time basically, so totally, especially in the summer, like, come on. Anyways, I actually really like this look. Okay, good job, me. You did a good job today. Anyways, let's talk about the palette a little bit more. It's always fun finding a new brand and actually really liking their formula. And so far, I mean, as a whole, I mean, I was already really interested in this brand and I like the theme that they're going for right now, and I'm really excited to see what else they do, what other products are going to look like, if they're going to keep doing the eyeshadows and then maybe eventually go into something else. But regardless, I'm super interested in Musee and I can't wait, and like, I just can't wait to see what else they're going to come out with. Like, this color story right here is just absolutely stunning. Like, this is gorgeous, and this is one of those palettes where I feel like just inspired by it. By looking at it, I can just see all of these different things I'm gonna do, and it's more of like a, oh my god, there's so many different things I'm going to do. What should I do today? Like, that's kind of how I was feeling, because all of these colors, especially like all of these ones, really, really speak to me. And I mean, this top row is nice to have. That's good to have like blending shades that aren't necessarily bright and colorful, and you can always do your more neutral look if you want to, and then do like pops of color if you wanted to. So it's cool to have that element to it, but for the most part, all of these colors are just super inspiring, very colorful, very just beautiful. Like, I look at this and I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do next? Like, this is a palette that I feel like I could do a 3 looks 1 palette, like, no problem. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. If I did, it would probably be something that I would do next week, so in a couple videos from now. But I do have a couple other palettes, so we'll see where we end up going with that. But yeah, I feel like the shimmer shades were pretty easy to work with. I do feel like that Coast shade looks a little more blue on me than I thought it would. I definitely think it's like a bluey green color. I got kind of a seafoam vibe from it, and that's what I thought it was going to be. And on me, at least, it just doesn't look super seafoamy. I mean, I guess it does, and maybe I'm just, because I'm pairing it next to that more like periwinkle blue shade, maybe that's where I'm getting kind of like more, I don't know how to explain it. It just looks a little bit different than I thought it would. It doesn't mean that it's not a pretty shade, because it is still really pretty, but for some reason I was expecting more of a green, and I definitely feel like it's coming off more blue, especially in this look, but maybe it'll look different paired with different colors. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Like, even on there, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. It just looks, I guess it does swatch out to be a little more green. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the colors I paired it with. But to me, it's just looking more blue. And then, so that's like kind of the only thing I have so far. Everything else seemed to work really nicely. I feel like the mattes were pretty easy to build up, same with the shimmers. I did feel like the shimmers did take a little bit to build up, but nothing too crazy. I felt like they still performed pretty nicely. I feel like everything so far looks really good. The mattes were super easy to build up, and especially being a colorful palette, it's always good to kind of start a little light-handed and then build that up. So that's great that they were able to perform that way. But so far, I'm actually pretty impressed. Like, I don't really have any negative things to say. The only slightly negative thing is I thought that shade would look a little bit different, but who knows? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it looks more seafoamy on camera and you see it as being a seafoamy color, and I'm just like, what? You know? But overall, I feel like everything was super easy to work with. I love this color story. I just can't stop looking at this eye look, and I don't have moments like that too often because I'm so hard on myself. And yeah, I just really like this look so far. I feel I'm really impressed by this brand so far, and I'm really excited to see what else they come out with, because right now this is just like, I know this is going to be a palette that I'm going to use a lot, especially in the summer, and I mean basically year round, because let's be real, I'm a colorful look person, so it's not like it's gonna have an expiration date with me, like I'm only gonna use it in the summer, because I'll probably use it like literally all the time. But this definitely is probably going to be one of those palettes that's going to stay on my desk, and I'm just going to keep playing with it because, like I said, I'm super inspired by it. It's just so gorgeous. And one thing I wanted to note, that I was actually kind of surprised, I didn't feel like I had too much fallout either. I had a tiny bit, but really, I mean, that's amazing coming from such a colorful palette. Usually with some palettes you get a lot of like fallout, and maybe because I was going a little more light-handed, that's why I didn't get the fallout. But I was actually pretty surprised, because usually I don't like putting foundation on before I do my eye makeup for that reason specifically. And I did a little bit of foundation like earlier this morning before I went out, and yeah, I don't feel like it really disturbed any of my other makeup. I felt like everything was fine. Like I said, a tiny bit of fallout, but I was pretty impressed that I barely had any, like, you know, that's a good thing to know. Anyways, yeah, I'm just super excited about this palette, about this brand. I can't wait to see what else they come out with. I'm just super inspired by this palette and this brand. I'm just excited for, like, I just can't explain how excited I am for just their future, because I really feel like they're going to be one of those brands that's going to end up being really successful. If they keep going on this route, at least, like, I would look out for them. I would try this. I mean, I know $42 is kind of expensive, or it is expensive. It's definitely more on the high-end pricing of things, but I personally so far think it's worth it. Of course, I have to keep on using it and keep playing with it, but right now I would recommend this to you guys, to my friends, to my family. Like, if you like bright colors, you don't have anything like this right now, I would get it. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you next time.